Today we'll be comparing the two latest drones from DJI, namely the Air3 and the Mini 4 Pro, and I'll try to help you decide which one would be the better buy for you. Now, I don't think I've been in a situation like this before where the drones that I'm comparing are so different from each other look-wise, but they're so similar in terms of specs, in terms of how they feel, how they fly, and what they can give you. Now, they have some unique characteristics, of course, and that is the main reason why I'm doing this video. I want to give you some exact things that you need to know about this drone and also this drone in order to decide which one to buy. So starting out first, we have the size, the weight, and the noise that these drones make. Obviously, the Mini 4 Pro is the smallest drone that DJI currently offers, and with that, it's also the most lightweight and portable. The Mini series has always been with the same weight, 249 grams, and of course the Mini 4 Pro is no different. So 249 grams against 720 grams on the Air 3, which means that this drone gets in a whole different category. If you're in Europe, that is very, very important, and that is classified as C0, which is under 250 grams. When it comes to the noise, like I said, this is the smallest drone that DJI makes, so of course the noise that it makes is also the least annoying. So it is very, very hard to hear this drone in the air. As soon as you take off and get to maybe 10-20 meters of altitude, it becomes almost silent, so that's really, really a good thing about that. The Air 3 is of course more noisy and it's a little bit more annoying to hear. It makes different pitch when it's in the air, but that's understandable because it's like 3 times as heavy. Next, we have the cameras on these drones, and it's really interesting to compare the camera characteristics of these drones because they are exactly the same. So there is not really that much to compare, as it's exactly the same sensor size, exactly the same software and hardware that stands behind it. It's the same stacked sensor that shoots 4K 60 frames per second in D-Log-M, HLG, and you can shoot in 10-bit. You have 48 megapixel photos, and it's pretty much the same thing. There is not really that much to talk about when it comes to the camera characteristics, besides the fact that of course this one has a secondary camera as well, which is the 70mm f2.8 medium telephoto camera, which is amazing. Now, I've read some really interesting comments from people, and I'm curious to know your opinion as well. And those comments were something along the lines that the 70mm camera on the Air 3 is useless, there's really no point of it, they don't like the look of it. I feel like this is an amazing addition to the Air 3, and the 70mm camera is something that I love using. It's my go-to camera that I use on any drone that has it, because it creates that different look that we are not so used to compared to the wide-angle camera that we've had on any drone in the past 10 years or so. So for me, that's interesting, that's useful to kind of mix with my regular wide-angle footage and create a better story by being able to focus and isolate an object by using this lens. For some people that might not be useful at all. Some people might not enjoy it at all. I really want to hear back from you. Which type of person are you? Do you enjoy the 7mm look, or you don't care about it? Let me know down in the comments. But that's the biggest difference between those two drones. The fact that this one has a secondary lens, this one does not have it. When talking about the camera, there's one more thing that I need to remember to share with you, and that is the vertical orientation of the Mini 4 Pro. That's the true vertical video that we have here. Whereas on the Air 3 we have a cropped vertical video. That's not a deal breaker in my opinion, but for some people it might be very important, so just so you know. When it comes to the intelligent flight modes that we have, they are exactly the same on both these drones. We have cruise control, master shots, quick shots, we have waypoints, hyperlapse, so many different things that we can use, besides one major difference, and that is that we now have obstacle avoidance 360 on the Mini 4 Pro. I did a full video on obstacle avoidance 360, which is a brand new feature from DJI, which is really cool, and it enables you to create some very dynamic but also smooth shots while being tracked from the drone. I really hope that this feature comes to the Air 3, but as of right now, it's only available on the Mini 4 Pro, so that's a big plus for this drone. Both of these drones have omnidirectional obstacle avoidance, which is great, so it can give you a little bit more peace of mind knowing that it will detect any potential obstacles in its way and hopefully go over them or around them. Now, this has been tested very well on the Mini 4 Pro with this new Active Track 360. Like I said, I will link my video below, but both of these drones are very safe, and unless you're doing something completely irresponsible, you should be good to go, and you shouldn't be crashing them left and right. So yeah, that's a great safety thing for both of these drones. Speaking about safety, currently these are the only two drones that support the O4 transmission system, which DJI recently came out with, which is superior to anything else that we've seen before. It gives you a maximum flight range of up to 20 kilometers in FCC mode and up to 10 kilometers in CE mode, which is still quite insane in my opinion. Especially in urban areas, you shouldn't have any issues, any worries about having some interference with these drones because they are rock solid in pretty much any environment you put them into. So that's great, and these are the only drones that have that system as of right now. So that's a huge thing for both, and they are very impressive in terms of just daily performance anywhere you put them. A major point for the Air 3 against the Mini 4 Pro is the flight time, which is up to 46 minutes on the Air 3 and only up to 34 minutes on the Mini 4 Pro. But we need to keep in mind that this is still under 250 grams, whereas the Air 3, compared to the previous iteration of the Air series, the Air 2S, has gained a massive weight and it's become a lot bigger, being able to accommodate that bigger battery as well. So that's still something to consider depending on how much you value your battery life. If you're looking for more battery life out of every single battery that you have, the Air 3 is the clear winner here. Finally, I want to talk about two things: wind resistance, and then I'll mention the prices. The wind resistance on both of these drones is seriously impressive. I recently put out a video about the wind capabilities of the Mini 4 Pro when I flew it in 55 kilometers wind gusts, which were very strong, but it held without any issues, without any hiccups. The footage was super smooth and I was really impressed. That goes the same way for the Air 3, and having in mind that this is a much bigger and heavier drone, it will be even better in terms of coping with those strong wind gusts. So you shouldn't really worry about wind capabilities on any of these two drones. They are both amazing. Just keep in mind that you'll be able to push the Air 3 a little bit more because of its bigger weight and stronger winds. And finally, the prices. We have a base price of $759 for the base package of the Mini 4 Pro with the RC-N2, and we have a base price of $1099 for the Air 3 with the same base package with the RC-N2. It goes higher and higher the more things you add to these bundles. They have a lot of different bundles that you can choose from, whether you want to have the DJI RC2 or you want to have the Fly More package. It goes more and more expensive, but if you're only looking for the best drone for your buck, I would honestly advise you to go for the Mini 4 Pro because it gives you a lot, and I mean a lot, for what you're paying. If you're looking for a little bit more to play with, if you're looking for more camera features, especially from the second lens that can give you a different look, then of course the Air 3 is a perfect middle ground between the Mini 4 Pro and the Mavic 3 Pro, for example. So if you don't want to spend Mavic 3 Pro money, you can do it and spend it on the Air 3 and still get a very similar experience. But if you are only looking to maybe have a drone in the air as a secondary camera, or you're looking to get your first drone ever, then the Mini 4 Pro is the no-brainer choice here because it gives you pretty much anything you can ask from it. It has pretty much no limitations, but when it comes to bigger drones, there's always a little bit of a compromise, especially if you're not a very seasoned pilot, because you never know how much you're going to fly it, but you're paying a ton of cash for it, so you never really know whether that's going to be a good investment for you or not. But here with the Mini 4 Pro, it's just a no-brainer. Hopefully that explains the main differences between those two drones. I really hope that was useful for you to decide which one you want to buy. Now, if you have any questions whatsoever regarding the Mini 4 Pro or the Air 3 or any other drone for that matter, drop them down below. Don't hesitate to ask me anything you would like to know, and I'll try to be as helpful as possible and give you that information. But that's pretty much it from today's video. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. I'll catch you in the next one very soon, so take care and goodbye.